The Potsdam Declaration clearly states that Japan should not rearm. Japan commits in its constitution to forever re-announcing war and a threat or use of force as means of settling international disputes, and established the exclusively self-defense-oriented principle. Together, they codified Japan's obligations as a defeated country. A brief look at history will show us that to use survival-threatening situation and self-defense as a pretext is a go-to tactic for Japanese militarism to launch aggression. In 1931, Japan called whether it could seize Manchuria as survival-threatening and used that as a pretext to carry out the September the 18th incident and invaded and occupied Northeast Asia, China. Japan later claimed that to defend the Greater East Asia co-prosperity sphere was an existential battle for Japan, enlarging its war of aggression to the entire Asia. Whether to attack Pearl Harbor was to also deemed as survival-threatening to Japan, which ignited the Pacific War. The alarm has been sounded. The historical tragedy must not repeat itself. As we mark the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Chinese people war of resistance against Japanese aggression and war anti-fascist war, the international community must guard against and thwart any attempt of reviving militarism, jointly uphold the post-World War II international order, and safeguard world peace. Next one, please.
Thank you. Sky News in the UK.
天空。昨天，军情五处向英国的一些政治家发出了新的警告，称中国的特工正在试图收集影响英国国家安全的信息。在英国有很多的中国特工和间谍行为。近期有很多关于此话题的讨论，这对于中英关系、双边关系有什么样的影响？
China has stated its position more than once. We firmly reject such vilification that has no factual basis and projects one's own mentality onto China. Judgment based on disinformation will only lead to the wrong path. China never interferes in the internal affairs of other countries and has no interest to collect so-called intelligence from the British Parliament. Next one, please.
谢谢发言。李伯忠。
China Arab TV. Yesterday, Foreign Minister Wang Yi met with the Secretary General of the Arab League, Gate, and he said that the second China-Arab States Summit will be held next year. And what preparations is China making for the summit next year?
Last May, President Xi attended the 10th Ministerial Conference of the China-Arab States Cooperation Forum and delivered a keynote speech and declared that China will hold the second China-Arab Summit in 2026. Yesterday, Foreign Minister Wang Yi had in-depth communication with the Secretary of Arab League. Currently, the preparation for the summit has been progressed in an orderly manner. Next one, please.
CGTN 提问，当地时间。
On November the 18th local time, the 80th session of the UN General Assembly deliberated on the reform of the Security Council. The Chinese representative explicitly pointed out that Japan is totally unqualified to seek a permanent seat on the Security Council. What's your comment? According to the UN Charter, the Security Council bears primary responsibility for the maintenance of international peace and security. Japan waged a war of aggression during the Second World War, inflicting profound suffering to the people of Asia and the world. Up to now, Japan still has not fully repented for its war crimes. Some in Japan still advocate a wrong view on World War II history, pay tribute to the Yasukuni Shrine, and distort, deny, and even whitewash Japan's history of aggression. The wrongful remarks recently made by Japanese PM on Taiwan grossly interfere in China's internal affairs, trample on the international law and basic norms in international relations, and challenge the post-World War War II international order. Such a country is incapable of taking up the responsibility for maintaining international peace and security and unqualified to become a permanent member of the Security Council.
法新社台湾的检方称6名中国大陆人违反了国家安全相关条例，中方对此有何评论？
一下你的问题。
Could you please repeat your question?
Taiwanese prosecutor
台湾检方对6名人宣布了违反国家安全的罪名，其中1名是来自中国大陆，中方对此有何评论？
不是一个。
This is not a diplomatic issue. Next one, please.
NHK 据了解
NHK, we've learned that China has notified Japan that it will suspend the import of Japanese aquatic products. Can you share with us the details and reasons?
As far as I know, Japan previously promised to deliver the responsibility of the aquatic products to China. This is the precondition for the export of Japanese aquatic products to China, but Japan currently did not fulfill its obligation of supervision and did not provide the basic materials. I would like to stress that recently the remarks made by the Japanese PM has triggered the outrage of Chinese people. Currently, even the products are exported to China, there will be no market. Next one, please.
日前，上海合作组
The 24th meeting of the Council of Heads of Government of Member States of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization was held in Moscow, and Premier Li Qiang attended the meeting. Could you share more information? The meeting of the Council of Heads of Government of Member States of the SCO held yesterday was a full success. Leaders of participating countries had an in-depth discussion on implementing the outcomes of the SCO summit in Tianjin, deepening cooperation in various fields, and institution building of the organization. Premier Li Qiang said that as an important player in building and reforming the global governance system, the SCO is equipped and capable of jointly implementing the global governance initiative. The SCO should focus on key areas of development and security to promote universal security and lasting peace and build an open and inclusive world economy. The SCO should achieve sustainable development by fostering the developing new drivers and promoting green and low-carbon transition. China stands ready to work with all parties to further enhance the SCO's cohesion, capacity for action and influence, and continuously make the SCO better and stronger. Leaders of participating countries spoke highly of the contributions made at the SCO summit to the high-quality development of the SCO. They agreed to continue following the guidance of the Shanghai Spirit, actively promote cooperation on security, trade, finance, and connectivity, and people-to-people and cultural exchanges, among other fields, and contribute to promoting peace and development in the region and beyond, and reforming and building the global governance system. Next one, please.
Regarding yesterday's
关于昨天中国和日方之间的磋商，中方并没有提到说该活动可以被拍摄，中方对此有何评论？
First, China did not arrange media organizations to shoot the activity you just mentioned. I also noted that most of the reporters at the scene are from Japanese media outlets. Next one, please.
RIA Novosti. Yesterday, Russian President Vladimir Putin said that Russia will implement visa-free policy for Chinese citizens, and this will come into effect soon. What's your comment on that, and do you expect more Chinese tourists to Russia?
China attaches great importance to facilitating cross-border travel between the Chinese and Russian people. China and Russia are each other's largest neighbors. Mutual visa exemption further strengthens people-to-people and cultural exchanges and serve the interest of the two peoples.
Thank you. Question from Reuters.
路透社昨天，内阁长官称，日本的首相并不会收回涉台的一些言论，而且这一言论与政府的立场一致，中方对此有何评论？
I'd stress that the wrongful remarks on Taiwan by Japanese PM undermines the political foundation of the bilateral relations and triggered the outrage of Chinese people. We urge Japan to retract the wrongful remarks and stop stirring up troubles in this regard. Take concrete actions to safeguard the political foundation of the bilateral relations. If Japan refuse to retract those remarks, China will take serious countermeasures, and all the consequences will be borne by the Japanese side.
谢谢发言人彭湃。据报道，美国国防
The paper is reported that U.S. Secretary of War Hicks has unveiled the Operation Southern Spear that aims to remove narco-terrorists from the Western Hemisphere. The State Department announced to designate Cartel de la Sol, headed by Maduro, as a foreign terrorist organization effective from November the 24th. The U.S. also said that it will not rule out sending troops into Venezuela. What's your comment? China firmly supports the proclamation of Latin America and the Caribbean as a zone of peace released by CELAC in 2014. China opposes any moves that violate the purposes and principles of the UN Charter and other countries' sovereignty and security, the interference of external forces in Venezuela's internal affairs under any pretext. We hope the U.S. will engage in normal law enforcement and judicial cooperation through bilateral and multilateral legal frameworks and choose the course of action that is conducive to peace and security in our seas.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
Hello, Laura Baker from BBC.
BBC, 我想追问，你提到了日本首相并没有收回他的，如果日本首相不收回的话，那么中方将采取反制措施，这是一个威胁吗？
I've already introduced China's position. The wrongful remarks on Taiwan by Japanese PM undermined the political foundation of the two countries, and I think Japan will respond to it. First, Japan should take back what it said and safeguard the political foundation of the two countries. Otherwise, China will take further measures. Next one, please. Any other questions? This is the end of today's press conference. Thank you all for coming.